Meta, as in everything, with Facebook as an offshoot of it. Does that make sense? It's quite a name change. We'll talk about it with Mark in just a few minutes. But right now, let's get to our Friday chat with KFI's House Whisperer, Dean Sharp. You can follow Dean on social media at Home with Dean. Listen to him tomorrow morning, 6 to 8 here on KFI. Sunday morning, 9 to 11. Hi, Dean. Good morning.
Good morning.
Every time I hear that song, your home theme song, I picture you with a guitar and you and Tina singing around spot to like campfire in your backyard.
That is completely erroneous.
But could be.
Actually, okay, so just alter it, because it's our son who's the musician. I don't know how to play guitar. So just imagine Jason playing the guitar around the fire pit, and Tina and I are sitting around, and I'm singing, and she's covering her ears.
Okay, I like that better. That's more fun. All right, let's talk water heaters. And I must admit that when I saw that water heaters was our topic, I said to myself, a whole segment on water heaters. And then it got me thinking, though, I don't know crap about water heaters. I don't know when I'm supposed to replace the stupid thing. I don't know, normally I would replace it when I get in the shower and it's cold.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of used to that from everybody anyway, Jen. I mean, let's face it. It's not the first time you've looked at one of our topics and said, really? Really?
I was afraid that you would kind of circle back to that.
No, it's just that, here's the cool thing, though, that I enjoy about our show. It's the fact that we get to launch into everything from really cool, really kind of, idealistic design concept stuff, all the way down to, the toilet is hissing, what are we going to do about it? And so the water heater, this is the first time in 5 years that we've done an entire show just on water heaters. But the more I talk with people, the more I interact and hear emails and such, water heaters are kind of a big mystery. That's why I put together this little water heater quiz.
Oh, God. I know, when I saw there was a quiz, I thought, I'm failing. Big F, you don't even have to give me the quiz.
It's all right. Everybody fails it. Handel failed it miserably on Wednesday morning, by the way. So let me start out with this. Here gives you an idea. This is why this is the number one question at the top of the quiz. Okay, ready?
Okay.
The heart of a healthy water heater is the sacrificial blank.
The sacrificial.
That's a real
water.
term. I'm not making this up.
The sacrificial water in the water heater. I have no idea.
Okay. It's called the sacrificial anode. You know what an anode is?
No.
No one knows what an anode is. Well, some science types out there know what an anode is. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the point that I'm trying to make with this. When you get sold your water heater, when your water heater gets installed, everybody just install the thing. All I want to do is go inside and turn on the faucet. Now it comes hot water, and that's great. But there are things that we should pay attention to in regards to our water heater if we actually want them to last as long as they can. It's kind of like changing the oil on the car, So the sacrificial anode. An anode is a rod. It's made out of either magnesium or aluminum. And it's attached to the top of your water heater, the very top. Now, we're talking about a traditional tank water heater here, okay? Not a tankless, which is still what most people have. This rod goes down inside the water heater and in the water, just sits in the water there. Its job is to, through an electrochemical process, its job is to attract heavy metals like rust, like iron, minerals like calcium to itself. And we call it the sacrificial anode because things like rust and other contents inside your water, especially if you have hard water at your house, corrode metal. Well, the sacrificial anode is there to attract all of that stuff to itself, so it corrodes and starts to wither away, so that these minerals and metals do not attack and start rusting and scaling the steel walls that is the tank of your water heater.
Oh, the sacrificial anode, I want to give it a hug. It's sacrificing itself for us.
You should give it a hug, because here's why. If you have exceptionally hard water, your water heater, standard tank water heater, you're going to get, on average, most of them last 8 to 12 years. If you really want to get the most time out of it, long before you get to 8 years, your sacrificial anode is probably toast. And as soon as it is less than half the width that it started out as, it should be replaced, because once it's gone, it's no longer attracting these things away from the steel walls of your tank, which means that's where the rust is starting to form now on the actual tank of the water heater. So the sacrificial anode sits in there, and just imagine that it basically dissolves, it's eaten away by the less than great properties in your water as soon as it gets to a certain point. Or sometimes it's just the opposite. If you have a water softener system for your house, there's a lot of salt content. Yeah.
Yes.
Then it's likely to get heavily coated with material, and as a result, it gets so coated it can't dissolve away anymore, because now it has like a protective coating. Either way, when that happens to the anode, then all of this stuff starts, all the bad stuff starts happening to the walls of your water heater.
All right, little anode, I am so sorry. I feel like I've done you wrong all these years. I'm going to go out and hug the tank as soon as we're done, Dean.
And here's the thing. These anodes, they're not expensive, and, unbeknownst to most people, they're sitting on the shelf at your local hardware store, at Ace, at Lowe's, at Home Depot, at your local plumbing supply place. They're there. They're not expensive. You just have to know which one is the right one for your water heater, and it can be changed out.
All right, hit me with another question that I can fail.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Tank versus tankless water heater, which is more expensive?
Okay, well, everybody pretty much has a tank that I know of. The newer homes have the tankless. I'm going to go with tank, just because I bet the technology is better.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a trick question, because a tankless water heater, up front, the upfront cost, is a little over twice as expensive as a traditional tanked water heater. And that's one of the reasons why people tend to stay away from them. They're like, oh, it's going to be more money to replace. The cool thing, of course, about tankless water heaters, they save a lot of energy and endless hot water. Endless. So, in other words, there's no tank. It's kind of like the radiator on your car. The cold water enters one end, and it so superheats the water as it moves through it that by the time it leaves the other end of the tankless water heater, it's completely hot, steamy water ready for you, which means as long as it's running, endless hot water. You can take a 2-hour shower, Scott can take a 2-hour shower right after you, and everybody else can come over and take a shower, and nobody runs out of hot water. But the tankless water heater, pricey right up front versus the tank. But here's the thing. In the long run, if you play the long game, when you calculate in the energy savings that you're going to get from your gas bill, because tankless is so much more efficient, and the fact that a tanked water heater, like I said, about 8 to 12 years on average, a tankless water heater, take care of that one, 20-plus years.
Oh.
So you take that almost a little more than twice the cost, spread that over twice the lifespan, and the fact of the matter is that tank and tankless water heaters in the long run cost a homeowner about the same. So if you're considering, and if you can work out good financing or anything like that up front, you might want to go tankless, because in the end, it is not more expensive.
All right, and we've got about a minute left here, but I need to know, what does it mean if the water heater is hammering? Because I'm not going to lie, I remember our old house, the water heater made this sort of banging noise, and I just assumed, well, if the hot water's still coming out of it, it must be fine. I never checked.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
Well, water heaters can, if that scaling starts to happen, like I was telling you about, water heaters can make a lot of strange noises. They can make cracking noises, popping noises, rumbling noises. That's all water heater noise. But one of the most deceiving sounds coming out of the water heater is a hammering sound, kind of like that. That is not actually in your water heater. That's what we call water hammer, and it has to do with just the way your pipes in your house are configured, so that as the water moves through the pipe, especially the hot water, it makes certain turns and twists and bends, and it cavitates, and as a result, it creates that hammering sound when it's first turned on. You hear it in the water heater because the water heater is just this big old hollow pipe, as it were, and it becomes an echo chamber for what's happening further into the house, the hammering further into the house. So the water heater kind of acts like a speaker for that sound, but that's not where it's actually happening. No water hammer happens inside a water heater. So it's not bad for the heater. There's nothing wrong with the water heater. It's just a symbol that, or signal, that you should put a hammer arrestor, which is basically like a little shock absorber for water, somewhere else in your plumbing system. Have it installed in order to eliminate water hammer.
So it would have been an easy fix that I just ignored because I figured it was too much hassle.
Yeah, it's a relatively easy fix. A water hammer arrestor, again, in the plumbing department, is not that you necessarily want to do this. If you've got copper pipes, you might want to have somebody else do it, although there are push-connect fixtures now if you're kind of a DIYer, but a water hammer arrestor is about a $15 item sitting on the shelf there. Once you have one or two of those installed in your system, the water hammer will go away.
All right, Dean, thank you so much for this information. Now I feel like the laziest person on earth because I could have just had somebody install one of those, and it would have taken all of that away, and I wouldn't have had to say to guys, don't worry about it. As long as the hot water's coming out, you're fine.
Yeah, well, when it comes to water heaters, you and everybody else, because it's just that, that's the weird thing. I don't know what it is about water heaters, but no one was ever told these basic essential things about taking care of our water heaters.
All right, well, we can learn more tomorrow, 6 to 8 or 9 to 11 on Sunday morning. Follow him on social media, at Home with Dean. It's always fun, Dean. Let's do it again next week.
Thanks, Jen. Talk to you then.
See ya. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk Meta, which is Facebook. Not Facebook, the social media portion, but Facebook, the umbrella. Kind of like Google and Alphabet, right? We'll explain it all with Mark Remillard in just a few minutes. One more time, let's see what that police activity is doing now on the 22.
All right, here you go, Jeff. 22 westbound between Golden West and Valley View. That police activity has all lanes closed. You're stopped from Beach Boulevard. Seems to be taking traffic off at Golden West, resulting to an earlier high-speed pursuit. That led to a reported police-involved shooting. So the 22 westbound between Golden West and Valley View is closed. Cerritos, the 91 eastbound for 605, a crash blocks the left lane. You're stopped to go for Bellflower. And in Corona, Caltrain's work on the 91 eastbound between Lincoln and McKinley. 2 left lanes are shut down. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph.
So even though not a lot of people ask how their water heater works, ever since Duffy Power became a sponsor here at KFI, we get a lot of questions about how home backup generators work. So here's a quickie. Duffy is going to evaluate your home. Then they hook you up with the perfect size generator to meet all of its needs. Then, when the next outage occurs, while everybody around you loses power, your generator automatically takes over and your life continues uninterrupted. It is lovely. When the power comes back on, the generator turns itself off. It's really just that easy. What's also easy is 0% interest financing and payments as low as $72 a month, which makes emergency power for your home totally affordable. As you know, the pandemic still has everything in short supply. So don't wait. Call Duffy today and make sure your life, your comfort, and your safety won't be interrupted during the next outage or any of the ones after that. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say Duffy Power, pound 250, Duffy Power, or find Duffy on the web at duffypower.com.
This report is sponsored by the California COVID-19 Rent Relief Program. Has COVID-19 made it hard to pay your rent or utilities? Are you worried about eviction? Eligible renters can now get 100% of their rent and utility bills paid. Apply today at housingiskey.com.
This is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DuckDuckGo.
MLB players voted Shohei Ohtani Player of the Year. The Players' Choice Awards also named the Angels superstar as the AL's Outstanding Player. Dodgers' Albert Pujols will play winter ball in the Dominican League, and Thursday night football had a wild ending with the Packers surviving the Cardinals. Kyler Murray was picked off in the end zone after A.J. Green didn't turn around for the ball. I'm Missy Jordan.
What is it that makes you uniquely you? Well, DuckDuckGo doesn't think that's any of their business. And frankly, it shouldn't be the business of any tech company. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
As usual, this year for Halloween, I'm going to dress up as a devil. A handsome devil. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Halloween freebie. Rewards members get a light-up pumpkin necklace on Halloween.
Number 4.
Trick, treat, win. Load up on candy and win up to $300 in free slot play when you earn 100 points on your rewards cards the 31st.
3.
Baseball's biggest games on big screen. The whole world will be watching, and so will you at Morongo.
And the number 2.
Entertainment is back. Gypsy King, November 5th. Robin 6, November 13th.
And the number 1 reason.
Rob Lowe, Keith Sweat, and Quinn Black all this year. Go to MorongoCasinoResort.com to check out the full lineup.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt, and a submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiment. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses I think few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council. I'm Susan Owen, managing partner at OPO Law. If you think all personal injury attorneys are alike, you'd be surprised. All law firms are not the same. For over 4 decades, OPO Law has had a 98% success rate on over 10,000 cases. While insurance companies continue to make a lowball offer, we stand up for you to get you the money you deserve. Fierce pursuit to win for you is our specialty, and we've obtained over $1 billion for injury victims. We don't settle your case for what the insurance company thinks it's worth. We settle your case for what we believe it's worth. If you have been injured in an accident, call 888-OPO-WIN. That's 888-OPO-WINS. Or visit opolaw.com. Remember, you don't pay until we win your case.
OPO Law, the law firm insurance companies fear most.
I'm Susan Owen, and I would be honored to handle your case.
Call 888-OPO-WIN today.
Spectrum Mobile is reinventing wireless again. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month per line. No contracts, no added taxes or fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60% with Spectrum Mobile. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999 or visit a store near you.
Offer valid for new customers on 2+ unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Savings based on 2 lines comparison of unlimited plans from major national carriers as of 9/2021. Prepaid exclusive. Restrictions apply. Portions of the following program will be recorded. Am I supposed to say muzzle top?
There's 2 times when people yell muzzle top. One is at a wedding, and then the other is during circumcision. Bill Handel. There was one rabbi, he would come in and go, does anybody need a touch-up? Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI.
We get a photograph of Meta. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Get into your biz bites brought to you by Equinox Home Financing, the answer for the self-employed. Go to equinoxhomefinancing.com. Mike Remillard, good morning to you this morning. So Facebook is no longer Facebook, sort of. I mean, it kind of is, but not. It just has a new umbrella. This is quite a story.
Yeah, it seems like a little more akin to what happened with Google a few years ago, where Google was the main product, but now it's under Alphabet, the parent company. But we all still interact with Google. We don't interact with Alphabet. It's kind of like that. Facebook's the social media network isn't going anywhere. Instagram's not going anywhere. Those brands are not going to change. It's just that instead of being called Facebook Inc., it's going to be Meta now.
Why do they think that they need this name change? Is it all because connected to the whistleblower, Francis Haugen?
I think it depends on who you ask, right? If you ask a critic of Facebook and what's happening with the company, they might be sure to say, well, this is a convenient timing. Even if they've been working on this for years, announcing this right now in the midst of all this firestorm certainly makes it seem like it's perhaps an attempt to divert the attention away from all the criticism of the company. But Mark Zuckerberg himself yesterday in the announcement says that it's to reflect what they see as the future of the internet, which they call the metaverse, which is really, I think the best way to describe it is kind of like the Matrix, which is kind of like this plugged-in digital world that they foresee where it's going to combine augmented reality, but even more so virtual reality, where you might have a virtual home that you build, and your digital world resides in this home. You might have a digital home office that you work from, and you meet digitally with friends in this immersive virtual world. So this is the keynote that Zuckerberg presented. But a lot of this is very far down the road, and I think critics have also kind of seized on saying, well, you're not announcing things that are really here, present today, yet you would probably prefer us talking about that instead of allegations that your company's destabilizing democracies and things like that. So it does seem like there's a lot of room here for critics to say this is potentially an effort to deflect a little bit away from all of the scandal and controversy surrounding the company right now.
Yeah, that's a little bit what it felt like. It felt like it was one of those, hey, something shiny, look over here. We've got a new virtual reality headset that we're going to introduce to you, and this new Quest 2 headset that we've got as well. And don't worry about the other stuff that's going on. We're Meta now. Don't worry about Facebook. Facebook, what? I mean, that's a little bit how it felt.
Yeah, a little bit. And, it just feels like they have these very high-minded discussions about what the internet might look like in the future. And as I said, it's kind of this Matrix-y type thing. And I don't think it's that hard for us to envision that might be how the internet is one day. But I think of it a little bit like, imagine if in the early 2000s, Steve Jobs was introducing the iPod, but instead of pulling it actually out of his pocket and saying, here it is today, it's here, he instead said, well, look, this is what we're working on, this is coming down the pike, this is what we're developing. That wouldn't be quite the same announcement as what it was. And so I think Facebook saying, here, these are the things that we think are 5, 10, 20 years down the road, announcing that right now in the midst of all of this, I think it's easy for critics to say, well, there's a reason you're announcing that right now.
Exactly. The timing is suspect, even at the most basic level. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you later. This is KFI and KOST HD2 Los Angeles. And let's get back to your ride now. Hi, Chef Bob. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Jennifer, I want to commit maybe a synonym radio, but go back about 15 minutes. Sacrificial Anode.
Right.
Who knew?
I know. Well, that's what Winnie says. It's the sacrificial, and I'm like, I have no idea what the answer to this question is.
All right, we'll get to traffic. Good morning. Happy Friday. Yes, indeed. Hope you caught Dave Joseph's warnings about this. We're headed down there right now. But the westbound 22, the Garden Grove Freeway, closed to Golden West, all lanes. Police activity. We'll go down there and figure it out for you. Eastbound is open, but for westbound travel, about the easiest way, it's a little bit out of your way, but Catella. It's a good surface street going east-west. It's over to 605. Again, we'll check it for you. Now, as I speak here, we came flying down to 5 as fast as we could here. And then northbound 5 coming up from the walk, pretty good to East L interchange. Looking down here at the southbound 605, it's pretty good. It's getting a little slow around the 91, but I think we're off to a fairly good start. Don't go away. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Step Bob, AFI in the sky.
The Light Source Whole House Water Filtration System, well, it just makes sense. I happen to have one at home, and boy, it's a different way of filtering water. Now, we used to filter water at the sink, those little water filters, but you ran out very quickly because the tank is so small. With the Light Source Whole House Water Filtration System, you never run out of water. And every single faucet in your house becomes a source of filtered, delicious, highly filtered water. And the system is totally maintenance-free. You're done. And also, the Light Source system reduces your hard water problems. It's for the odor and taste of chlorine without salt or chemicals, and chlorine does not do your skin and hair any favors. You're buying directly from the factory. We love ours. They offer a customized water solution for your home, including installation, customer service support, and they've been around for 37 years here in Southern California, and their products are all made in the USA. Call 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009. Visit lightsourcewater.com. Light Source Water. You can taste and feel the difference.
What if you didn't have a boss? What if you didn't work for anybody, but you worked for everybody? Where would that take you? Free your career on the world's worst marketplace. As
work. Up we go.
The California RV Show is at ddrv.com. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, gas and diesel motorhomes. All new models with show-stopping pricing. Reps on site to approve deals. The California RV Show at
ddrv.com, where the 405 is the 22 Westminster.
Here's SoCal weather from KFI. So we've got one more warm day, not as warm as yesterday. We'll just see highs inland make it into the mid to upper 80s, and we'll just be in the low to mid 70s for Metro LA, O2, and the beaches. Cool it down for everybody a little bit tomorrow, and by Halloween, highs will just be in the 60s and 70s. We leave local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. This has been your Friday wake-up call. Handle on the news starts now.
Handle on the News. Handle on the News. And now, here's Bill Handle.
And good morning, Bill Handle here, and the morning crew. Friday morning, October 29. Yeah, we've got lots of news to share, which of course happens. Let me say hello to the crowd. There's Jennifer Jones-Lee. Morning, Jen.
Morning, Handle.
And Wayne, who is trying to do something with my phone. Hello, Wayne. Hello. All right. Okay. And Morgan in for Alice this morning. Good morning, Morgan.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy. And Tyler, of course, here filling in for Tyler.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, sir. Oh, we got lots to do today. All right, the president is in Rome already, enjoying the Rome. I was going to say Rome is a great city and it's a lot of fun. It's become pretty commercialized. And the food, and I have it on good authority, the food, they sort of lost the ability to have good food. Like Tony Rome has really gone way down. It's just not the food that it used to be. The Tony Rome is near my house. That shut down, and now we have a Norton. Okay. Yeah. This is pretty good. All right. Let's do it, guys. It's time for Handle. It's time for Handle on the news. Oh, where's that? You know what? Can you, does that work? Wayne, can you get, sound? I know I can't do this. Jen's at home today broadcasting, and a little inside baseball. She is our emergency broadcast location in case something happens here. So on Fridays, she's there, and you can't tell the difference, of course. Except I try to FaceTime her, and I always do it wrong. There we go. I'm not touching it. Jen, you there?
I'm still there.
Okay.
You hear that a lot.
Yeah, I do. Okay, guys. Let's do it. Okay, Handle on the News with Jennifer, Wayne, and me. Lee Story. Here we go. And our governor and Pete Buttigieg announced a multi-billion-dollar loan program for California sports, particularly Long Beach and LA, which happen to import 40%. They deal with 40% of all the imports in this country, and they are the two worst ports that we have in the United States. Oh, not only that, which is 100% true, they are in the very, very bottom of efficiency ratings for cargo ports in the world. Yeah, it's crazy. They're even worse than the port at Omaha, Nebraska. It's that bad, and that's not easy to do, and they pulled it off.
All right, Facebook has changed its name to Meta, except for it really hasn't, because Meta is just kind of, think of it as the Google umbrella of Alphabet. Yeah. And then you still have Google. And then Facebook is still there, Instagram is still there. Meta now is just the way Mark Zuckerberg says you should think of Facebook as the Meta.
Sorry for.
It's a big thing when you think about it, because Facebook is a product among several products. And so, you know, do you think of WhatsApp as being Facebook? Well, it is. It's part of the company. So switching the name and just accepting a larger name, sort of a holding company name. But at the same time, Facebook is
Sorry
our world. I mean,
Sorry
it's,
for.
it's been a long, so we're going to do that more at 7 o'clock.